I'll read the data leakage thingamabob here in a hot second. Over here, Snake. Well, my game runs and consumes memory, right? RAM. So memory leaks when a program uses memory, but at some point it loses the address of memory. And instead of deleting what is in that chunk of memory and sending it back to be freed, this means that when you have a memory leak, you have part of your memory being used for nothing instead of being freed. Huh. Interesting there. Wacky. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are weird games, aren't they? Big Boss. You're alive? Snake. Welcome to Zanzibar land. I knew you'd come back to me. I came to get rid of the nightmares I've been having for the past 3 years. The nightmares. They never go away, Snake. Once you've been on the battlefield, tasted the exhilaration, the tension. It all... Oh, now he waits a while before pressing A, huh? This is the case. It all becomes a part of me. Once you've awakened the warrior within, it never sleeps again. You crave ever bigger tensions, ever bigger thrills. As a mercenary, I think you would have realized that by now. You care nothing for power, or money, or even sex. The only thing that satisfies your cravings is war. All I've done is give you a place for it. I've given you a reason to live. I never would have made you for such a hypocrite, Big Boss. Television coming out now, more than 25-month resub as we're just watching the finale of this game because I didn't get there myself. I appreciate the 25-month resub. Welcome back to Team Enharmonic and all that stuff there. Hope you are doing well. Saw those children, didn't you? Everyone is a victim of war somewhere in the world, and they'll make fine soldiers in the next war. Start a war, fan its flames, create victims, then save them, train them, and feed them back onto the battlefield. It's a perfectly logical system. In this world of ours, conflict never ends, and neither does our something. Does our something or other. It does our purpose. Our raison d'etre. I have no idea how that's pronounced. So there's plenty of job opportunities. Is that what you're trying to say? On the battlefield, you and I are valuable commodities. Back home, we're nothing but dead weight. If we're lucky, we might get the attention of some stupid journalist from a cheap tabloid. You and I are doomed to remain here until we die like dogs on the battlefield. I've only got one fight left, to free myself from your grip. To rid myself of these, gosh dang it! Rid myself of these nightmares. Big Boss, I will defeat you. Doesn't matter who wins here. Our fight will continue. The loser will be liberated from the battlefield, and the winner will remain, and the survivor will live out the rest of his days as a soldier. It doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes it just, goes slowly like this. I'm not like you. I love life. Very well, Snake. I'll release you from your suffering. As your former commander, I'll do you one last favor. And put you out of your misery. I don't need any more favors from you. Really? Just how do you expect to beat me in your condition, with no weapon? Never give up. Fight until the end. Always believe you will succeed, even when the odds are against you. Those are your words. Even I make mistakes from time to time. Snake, this will be our final battle. And something or other. Final battle. Let's end this once and for all. So this is the final boss fight, huh? And you have to, scrounge something up, figure out what the heck to do here, essentially. My oh my. It seems the memory leak has been pinpointed to the city. Therefore, restarting after city is a safe way to wipe out the memory. Because while a program may have a memory leak, most OS usually completely wipe a free program's memory when its execution's ended. Switch one included, you assume. Wacky. Hey, look, there's some rations and stuff. But yeah. Fun fact, your name on PS3 was Legendary Big Boss, then you got banned? I told you the story of refunds, and the second account is your current name. Maybe I've heard this story before, but it doesn't seem, I don't know, maybe I forgot. It doesn't quite ring a bell to me. Oh, card 6 is getting cards again, so I guess you scrounge up things from around the battlefield for the final boss battle. It's nice how it shows where Big Boss is on the radar. So yeah, definitely a decent bit of a different final battle where, compared to Snake's Revenge, and Snake's Revenge, it was also against Big Boss at the end, but, he freaking was a cyborg in that weird one. So there's that. Enjoy the lurk there. Yeah, at least Big Boss didn't turn into a cyborg randomly out of nowhere. Wait, do you just have to collect cards one by one and equip them to get into the door for the next card in the middle of the final boss battle? That's so dumb. That's so silly if that's what's going on here. That's actually what's going on here. That's so silly. Wow. What the heck is that? Toothpaste? Card 3 was under the table! Yeah, another issue seems that the cities of Pokemon have all the objects loaded at all times you are in the city instead of being optimized, creating deleting object depending on where you are. Weird. I know that some things only get rendered, you know, if you're like really close to them. Like the people on Pokemon, for example. I guess everything else just sticks around that. I guess Big Boss doesn't know how to enter doors. Fortunate for him. Well, what was that other thing? A lighter? This is so silly. Yeah, ask Sony for refunds 2 or 3 times, and you got a console and name banned. Whack. Well, we can probably skip through, right? Because they're just opening doors until they get something that they can use as a weapon, right? Probably. Spray is what that is. Not toothpaste, it's spray. Apparently. What did that say? Hold on. What is the spray? A lacquer spray made from dimethyl ether and LP gas. I appreciate the follow there, Crafty Chet. The can says do not use in your open flames metallic gray in color. You do something with like the so the weapon is the lighter. You set those like honey puddle thingamabobs on fire? You have been sent here? Well, welcome on in. No idea who you were sent by, but welcome on in regardless to the shenanigans here and enjoy the lurk. We're wrapping up Metal Gear. Oh! My goodness, he has a freaking... He's got like a mini flamethrower now for the thingamabob. We're wrapping up some Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, which I didn't get to the end of, so we're just watching it on YouTube how it ends. Is the case. I still think it's really wacky to think that out of the 3 retro Metal Gear games, the only one that I managed to go all the way through to the end and beat was Snake's Revenge somehow. The weird non-canon West-only released one. Well, that's certainly something, isn't it? Little mini flamethrower thing. Guess it never runs out. Yeah, gets pulled over. License and registration, sir. Sir, Big Boss isn't a name. Is this some kind of joke to you? Yeah, it's funny how, you know, in these older school games, with the original and, you know, the sequel Metal Gear, where, you know, Big Boss was like a typical kind of name for some big head honcho baddie figure back for, you know, games in an era like that. But, you know, the later games that would still have, you know, Big Boss as a character earlier in the timeline, he still has to be referred to as Big Boss because that's what they established as canon, even though, you know, Big Boss does sound kind of silly, you know. But that's the canon. Snake! It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Snake. Snake. Michael Bay. Well, I guess that's what the final battle looks like there. There's a thingamabob there. A 5-character username? It's pretty wacky there. It's not over yet, Snake. I'm sure we'll never see him ever again in this series, surely. That'd be silly. Freeze. It's okay, it's me, Snake. Holly. He's waiting a good while before pressing A this time, I guess. Did I scare you? Phew, that was a close one. So what? Gosh dang it! So weird and inconsistent. Phew, that was a close one. So, what's going on? What are you doing here? Said it yourself. Stay alive and we'll meet again sometime. So I did. That uniform was too tight in the chest. I feel much better now. Here, I stole this gun from the enemy. You can have it. Yeah, I can see how it would be hard for a woman to use. Thanks. Wow, sexist much? So it's all over now, right, Snake? Yeah, I still have one more job to do. I can't be serious. I'm dead serious, Holly. Snake, no, you can't. You want me to call you a cab? My god, that wasn't funny, Snake. This is Snake. Come in, Charlie. This is Charlie. Go ahead, Snake. I've got the cartridge. I'm ready to return to base. Make my way to the rendezvous point now. Roger that. I'll meet you there. Any passengers? Just one. Blonde. The cute face. Sounds like a dream over and out. Wow. I mean, my actual name would fit within that many characters, but, so that's what I would have just gone with if that was the situation there. Holly, we've got to run as fast as we can to the rendezvous point. Think you can keep up. So one final, like, escape thingamabob? Is that a proposition, Snake? I'll take that as a yes. Alright, one final skedaddling away thingamabob. Oh, but it's probably not timed, I guess. But yeah, it's also longer than 5 characters. Yeah, most people's probably are. Most probably are, is the case. Well, one final zoom away. Wow! They really put a pitfall trap there at the end? Where would you respawn if that happened? Not before the big boss fight, surely. Wow. That's so silly. But yeah, I mean... there's a lot of games on the Switch that I see that'll have character limits of like 7 or 8, which I feel like still really isn't all that much, you know. Really not a whole lot. Well, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. For some final rations. Just to make sure that you, like, manage to escape, I guess. On the way to the rendezvous point. One random line right there to work your way through. Oh, no, there's a bunch more. But yeah, oh, Metal Gear Solid 3 and 5, I know the general premise, yeah. Like, I don't know what happens overall. But, you know, I know the general, like, plot premise, yeah, is the case. Now, let's take you so long. We're going to be here till Christmas. This is Charlie. I'm 10 kilometers from the rendezvous point. You have to survive here for a little while. It'll take a little bit longer. Over and out. Alright. Well, I guess you could just, like, kind of sit there and shoot them as they come in, then. Most likely names. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that, I wonder why in games like that they wouldn't just allocate more character space. Is it really that, you know, technically more... Is it really that much higher of a technical difficulty to do that? I did not phrase that well at all, but you know what I mean. Yeah, at least 10 characters thing should probably be at least that. No more guards? The hell chops are coming. Is it maybe? Guess you can't go that way. So, damn it. I'm out of ammo. Wait. Oh, it didn't show the ammo amount there. I was about to say, like, wouldn't you have had, like, hundreds? I guess it wouldn't have been. Because, you know, you lost all your stuff before the thingamabob there. Snake. We're jamming. Oh, no. Oh, no. They just vanish, I guess. Which, you know, I guess that's standard in this. It's a chopper. We're saved. Charlie, you're late. Sorry, man. Didn't want to disturb you two lovebirds. Well, I think we'll be home in time for Christmas. We'll be home in time for dinner, Snake. Let's go, then. I'm looking forward to Christmas dinner. I'm sick of these rations. Well. So, I guess that's Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. What's this? Oh, is that just like a final cutscene? I guess it's really tiny for some reason. Wow. So that is the story of Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, I guess. That was, well, way better than Metal Gear 1 and Snake's Revenge. Like, I could actually tell you partially what happened in this story, you know? I can tell you some details about it. Apart from, unlike, Metal Gear 1 and, Snake's Revenge, where I probably really couldn't tell you. What's a Russian gunship doing out here? My goodness gracious. Well, wow. Well, that's Metal Gear. Wow. Alright, well, I didn't actually beat Metal Gear 1 and 2 myself. I beat Snake's Revenge, the most important one, clearly, though. So, there's that. But now I can say that freaking the retro Metal Gear games have been covered on this channel. They're done with, and we're gonna start Metal Gear Solid next year. What do you think? It definitely shows its age in a lot of ways with, like, how convoluted a lot of the things are. You know, where it's like, you have the key to this cabinet. Go to the other side of the world and go into this area that'll freeze it, and then come back here to unlock the cabinet, you know. So there's, you know, some pretty convoluted stuff like that. Or whatever the heck the thing that I was missing to activate the 4 Horsemen boss battle. You know, I have no idea for sure what it was that I was missing. And it's just like, well, who knows how long it's going to take for me to find that. So, you know, there were definitely some signs of, you know, its age and just, you know, general game design stuff that was going on back then, where it's like, yeah, let's make things convoluted to artificially make the game longer, you know? So I wasn't as big a fan on that. The OST definitely slapped in some places. That was pretty cool. The game had some interesting things going on there, like the whole situation with Gray Fox and slash Frank there, and what's her face? Why do I keep forgetting her name? The ice skater from Calgary there. I thought that you know, I thought that there were some interesting things going on there, and you know, some humanity showed to Gustava. Yeah, that. And also some interesting aspects like, as aspects coming up on the screen, some aspects like, how in this facility, Big Boss is this dude that's, you know, taking care of and providing shelter to all these kiddos and stuff. But, you know, it might also be for not the best of reasons if they're gonna eventually be trained up to be soldiers and stuff like that. But, you know, it was interesting seeing, stuff like that, you know. It was cool how there was actually a Metal Gear boss fight. Though I, you know, didn't get to play it myself. But that was a neat thing Bob there. It was nice how the game actually had some cutscenes and some arguments and stuff going on, as opposed to, like, here's the very bare basics that, you know, Metal Gear 1 and Snake's Revenge had. So that was pretty neat. So there was that. If you ever played Digimon game for this channel, do Cyber Sleuth, I'll keep it in mind there, is the case. Everyone had exclusively good things to say about it. What, Big Boss? It seemed very much like there. And since I know that there are future games that, you know, follow Big Boss earlier in the timeline and stuff, it'll be interesting to see how things got exactly to that point. Again, I do know the general plot premise of, you know, of the other Metal Gear games, but, you know, I don't know the details. Won't know until I actually play them, is the case. So I'm looking forward to see, you know, how things kind of lead up to that and his story, because from what I've heard, apparently his story's pretty darn good, is what I hear. That's the word on the street. Alright, wait, is there anything past here? Oh. Good work, Snake. Have you thought about coming back to the unit? The nightmares have stopped. I'm a free man now. I see. That's too bad. By the way, about that cartridge. Is it really the one Dr. Marv had his plans in? Why don't we open it and find out? No need for that. Cartridge I brought back is Dr. Marv's, no question about it. Just put it in the MSX. Alright, here goes. Huh? Nothing's happening. What on earth? Of course, Snake was right. There's no doubt about it. This is Dr. Marv's cartridge. What are you talking about? I don't see anything. Here, look closer. Dr. Marv left his signature on it. Right there. It says Keo Marv. Oh, I see it now. It's written backwards. This is going to do the world a lot of good. Was that actually... Is that... Hold on. Did they basically take the name Marv then from VRAM? I don't know what exactly that is. That'd be like 0K bytes, I guess, essentially. Because yeah, that's super clever in that case. Turn VRAM into Marv. Dr. Marv's last performance. He really loved games, didn't he? From the bottom of his hearts. Yeah, so that then. Dr. Marv was entangled in a pointless political game, and it cost him his life. But the game he left behind will save us all, right, Snake? Snake? Where'd he go? Colonel, Snake's gone! Snake? Where's he off to now? Snake? Snake! He promised to take me out to dinner. How low can you get? Okay, well, then there's the credits and stuff. Oh, is there, Roy Campbell? Let's say what happened to characters or something? No? Okay, I guess not. So that was the boot up screen for Metal Gear 1 though, right? Is the case? Yeah, Snake. Well, it only became like a meme in later games. Was the thing. He only showed up, like, towards the end. So hold on. Hold on a hot second here. Uno momento. I can probably turn off display capture, go back to the regular thing. Or, well, you'll be able to see the menu better like this. Since, you know, this is just, you know, this is just Metal Gear 3 as a thing. Snake Eater. Hold on. Hold on. Just to really quickly have a look-see. Yeah. Oh, but this one's 128 kilobytes, but still. Maybe it would have been like the 0-1 by default there. Yeah, let's start playing Metal Gear Solid 3. Is that your favorite there, Sate? Huh. Well, that's certainly something in there. I'm not gonna play Metal Gear 1 from here. I just want to show the intro. Apparently, a lot of things changed between the NES and MSX version. So because we did the NES version, I just want to show the intro here. It doesn't really matter what I select here. Because apparently, in the NES original, you infiltrate the place by water, like this away, and you go right into the facility. Whereas in the NES version, you like parachute down from a chopper with like 3 other people that are never brought up or mentioned again, and you like do the jungle intrusion stuff before you get to the place. So yeah, the MSX and NES versions seem to be pretty different there. Make contact with Gray Fox to find the location of the Ultimate Weapon Metal Gear. This frequency that for all communications from now on over. So this is the way that you know, the MSX version started, unlike the NES version. But yeah, technically you could start with Metal Gear Solid 3, but don't think you should. Yeah, I've heard that, you know, even though Metal Gear Solid 3 is the first one in the timeline, you know, it's also best played after Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 because it answers a bunch of questions that apparently Metal Gear Solid 2 ended on. So this is just the way that, you know, this one starts, as opposed to the NES version. So this is Big Boss, the mission is infiltration, you just got flamethrowered not that long ago at the end of Metal Gear 2. I just wanted to show that. That's all I wanted to do. But yeah, the retro Metal Gear stuff is done, is the case. The retro things are donezo. But yeah, we'll play this eventually. You know, it's on my computer, it's at the ready. A Hideo Kojima game. Tactical espionage action, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD edition. As I mentioned earlier, I did think about doing the 3DS version instead, but you know, I could also change my mind before we get to it, because you know it'll still be a little ways away. But I'm probably gonna play this version, most likely gonna be this one that we end up playing. You know, wait, what's special anyway? Photo album. Oh, I guess there's nothing in there yet. Alright, so here's all the controls and stuff like that for MSG3 and stuff. Yeah, I can't take the name Big Boss seriously. Hearing that name makes you want to burst out laughing. Yeah. So, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3, it's 3 and 5 that follow Big Boss, and Peace Walker that's in this HD collection as well. So, you know, the story of Metal Gear Solid 3 is like the first story of Big Boss. But, you know, I think it's really funny how, you know, as I was mentioning earlier, Big Boss is very much a name that sounds like it would be an antagonist in a game from 1987 and 1990, like it was, you know, is the case. But, you know, these games that came out, you know, a decent while later, you know, it was established that it was canon at that point from the original old school games that, you know, the title was Big Boss, so they had to work that into the canon and have, you know, you take a character called Big Boss seriously, and you have a reason that he's called Big Boss and stuff. So, like, again, I don't know a whole massive ton about the later games, but I know, like, the general premise and, like, some rough things that happen. So I know that initially he starts out this game going by Snake himself, and that, you know, it kind of becomes a story of how he got the title of Big Boss. But, you know, it is pretty silly, you know. Big Boss is what you call the final boss of a game when you forget his name. Yeah, he's the big boss, you know? So yeah, eventually we'll get to this game, and we'll play as Big Boss himself that's doing those crazy tricks and stuff. It's gonna be crazy when we eventually get there. The HD edition. I can't wait. I've heard such good things about Metal Gear Solid 3. I mean, I've heard such good things about the Metal Gear series in general, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is apparently, like, one of the really big standout ones from what I've heard. Like, whenever I hear about, like, the best Metal Gear games, I usually hear that 3 is up there. So is that. By the way, the 3DS version is slightly better, but both are amazing. Up to you, really. Yeah, so I was comparing them. I hear that the controls and stuff are better optimized in the 3DS version since it's, like, the more recent version. But the graphics are just a smidge better in this version. Not by a massive ton. to be fair. Like, if you run Citra in HD, you know, it still looks, like, really darn good. So I'll consider it. Maybe I'll, like, compare and contrast is what we'll end up doing, you know. So, you know, I could still change my mind before that, point, for sure. You know, we still have Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 to go through before that point, so we shall see. I can show, I like Metal Gear Solid 1, I like Metal Gear Solid 2, I like Metal Gear Solid 3. I can show, just for funsies, the very beginning of the opening cutscene, just for, like, a little taste of what we're gonna have, you know, sometime later. If I go ahead and, there's that famous voice there. So, like, we'll do a proper playthrough of this later. Will be the case. You know, not gonna start it right now, but we can see, like, part of the opening cutscene, just for funsies, just for a little bit of an appetizer of, like, as we work through this series, this is what we'll get to eventually. I don't know why it's like this, with, you know, it kind of cropped in slightly, but, you know, we're not playing it today, so, you know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter there. David Hayter. Apparently he was at, the most recent Comic-Con that I went to. Apparently. And the line to see him was, like, super duper long, is the case. But yeah, so I was looking at a graphics comparison between this and, the 3DS version upscaled to HD on Citra, and they looked pretty similar. Like, this did look slightly better, but it wasn't by a massive ton. If you upscale the 3DS version to HD on Citra, it looks really good still, is the case. Like, I was really surprised at how good it looked on the 3DS version. Again, not as good as this, but it's close. Snake Eater, we're just gonna show, like, a smidge of the opening cutscene for a taste of, like, what's to come. We're not actually gonna play this today. That was not the plan, but let's do it for funsies. I'll switch my category to just chatting for now, but this will still be in, like, the finale part of Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So yeah, that dudo that just got set on fire, there he is, chilling out. In 1964, I believe this takes place in. Just a little taste. We'll see the opening cutscene and stuff, because sure. But yeah, this is one of the ones that I hear a lot of good things about, and this one is definitely one of the ones that I really look forward to playing. Part of me is almost tempted just to play it right now anyway, but it's like, nah. I gotta do Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. I'll feel a lot better about myself if I do Solid 1 and 2, and then that. I already have, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I already have, like, a freaking thumbnail format at the ready for Metal Gear Solid, so I'm already, like, at the ready as a thing. Look. Oh, wait, this isn't display capture anymore. Oh, I can't even show it. Well, maybe I'll show it later then. I was just dragging it onto my screen. But yeah, it's a game capture right now rather than display capture. Apparently the 3DS version had a problem with the frame rate when running natively, but you do not know about emulation. I imagine that'd probably be a lot better on emulation, most likely. That is super bright right there. That is super bright right there. Metal Solid 1 on the PS1, right? Right? Probably. You've, you know, very much tried to convince me a whole lot, is the case, so, you know, might well end up being the case there, is probably the plan. I mean, the thumbnail format that I threw together, you know, is of Metal Gear 1 on, like, the PS1. It's not the title of Twin Snakes. If I turn on display capture for a hot second, I can show it. So this is, like, the thumbnail format that I made, is the thing. So, like, I'm at the ready, you know, I am at the ready for starting this series sometime next year. We are prepared. But yeah, hold up Metal Gear Solid movie. What? What a way to waste an epic cigar. Yeah, how dare he just waste an epic cigar? He got what was coming to him at the end of that playthrough that we just finished, didn't he? Wasting a cigar like that. My goodness gracious. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid comes back when the Metal Gear Solid movie is finished. Oh, that's what the Metal Gear Solid movie was. That Mythic was saying, was referencing there. Are they real? I doubt that they'd be making a movie knowing the way that Konami is with IPs like this nowadays. Is that actually a thingamabob? How, what? Yeah, what? Is that an actual thing that's in production? But yeah. You said whoever donates more chooses which Metal Gear Solid 1. Twin Snakes are the original one. My oh my. Yeah, that's the way I go. That's the way to be a sellout for a good cause. Alright, cast Solid Snake. The heck? Metal Gear Solid movie. I've not heard about this. Metal Gear Solid IMDb. An advanced tank is stolen by a terrorist group and an elite soldier, Solid Snake, is dispatched to retrieve it. What?
So what exactly is
When was this announced?
Well,
I'm seeing a bunch of articles from this year.
about 2 years ago.
Oh, nope, I'm also seeing some from a couple of years ago. What the heck? This is a thing in production?
His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
Director Jordan Vogt Roberts. Writers Hideo Kojima for the video game. And Jay Basu and Derek Connolly for the screen version. So I guess maybe Hideo Kojima's not being brought on for the movie, I guess, or something like that. Apparently it is real, but we've heard nothing about it for years, so I don't know if it's still happening, huh? Maybe it'll just end up being like the Sly Cooper movie where it never happens. It was wacky with the Sly Cooper movie. They released a trailer and were like, "Yeah, this is coming out," and then they canceled it and said we're gonna make a TV show instead. And then they canceled the TV show, and then nothing ever happened. Is the case. But yeah, Metal Gear 1 and 3 freak you for these videos. These are like old timey stuff showing, a mix of historical stuff and abstractions of the past and stuff.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau.
Yeah, crazy.
Quite a success story. So why do
you can turn up the volume slightly. Yeah, we'll switch over to the next game in the schedule here shortly. Is the plan?
Crisis of conscience.
There, turn it up.
He left his country and his family
is the case.
and went over the fence.
But yeah, we're getting just a little taste of what's to come. Probably sometime next year. If I manage to get through the Metal Gear games at a good pace, hopefully we'll be able to get to 3 by sometime next year. 1 for sure. Definitely want to get to 2 as well. Definitely want to get at least 2 done. Optimally, if my pace is good, I'd love to get all the way up to 3 in 1 year. We did 3 Metal Gear games like this year, though, all in one session, so I don't know if they quite count in that way. But so this licensed footage for Metal Gear Solid 3 has been temporarily delisted? Wait, what? Like this stuff that's on the screen right now, or yeah, that's actually really interesting there. Like, if I was more familiar with the Metal Gear series by the time I was in my use of history and video games class, this would have been a interesting game to, write my paper on for that class. I wound up writing my paper on Assassin's Creed 2 for that class. But it would have been interesting looking at something like Metal Gear Solid 3, where it's like, it takes real history and, makes like its own version of it. Like it makes its own abstraction of the past. The game that I wrote on Assassin's Creed 2, I talked about how that series will write like the same consequences, like the same outcomes historically, but for different reasons. The reasons being because of their fictional game story, which is interesting. Whereas this is like taking real history and, making a fictional version with like fictional outcomes as well in an interesting way, but still making similar arguments that you can glean from these actual conflicts and stuff. Which the Halo TV show got canceled. I never saw it, but I heard so much about that TV show. I heard that it was one heck of a situation. That was certainly something. Anyway. No. Anyway, the next game that we're going to have coming up is going to be Deer Simulator. Whoops, I keep hitting the wrong one. It's going to be Deer Simulator. I don't know how long it's going to take me. Apparently, it's not a super long game. I have it like 2 hours there. It might be a little bit longer than 2 hours. That should be something silly and fun, after the stress of that game. Also, it was Guzma that gifted it to me. I know basically nothing about the game other than the fact that he, like, I thought it was really funny. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to gift it to me.
That's right.
So, we're gonna be doing that there. It's a shame if Guzma's not able to make it there. But alas, I was like, yeah, I'll do it eventually. Now here we are doing it during this. So hopefully it'll be like, a nice little chill break from things for something silly after that, But yeah, let's see here. I mean that Metal Gear Solid has been temporarily delisted from Xbox 360, PS3, and 3DS digital stores because of use of its license fee is being renegotiated. Oh. Huh. Well then. So look at information about it freaked you out? What, for the Metal Gear Solid movie? Mythic or or Alucard? My goodness, sorry, your names are about the same length and they're the same color for me. They're both red. Alucard there. My goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. But yeah, there's that. Wait, is the Halo TV show really getting another season? But yeah, if it is Guzma, I fear it's gonna be a fun, chaotic mess, probably. Again, I know nothing about it, but freaking Guzma gifted it to me. I was like, Harmonia, I love this game. You should try it at some point. It's short. You can do it in one session. I'd love to see you do it at one point. I was like, well, I'll definitely consider it. Now we're doing it for this 24-hour cherry stream, so I'm going into this like completely blind. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, let's see here. How did you have a Halo TV show? I found a way somehow. somehow.
According to
But
our
yeah,
intelligence,
here's probably
it's
red
in
because you
the
said it that
Selino
way.
Yacht,
You wanted the red
place
look
in the
there.
mountains about
You see
3 miles to
it
the
getting
west that's
3
known as
seasons,
the
honestly,
Virgin
just
Cliffs.
because 3 sucks. And we'll let Paramount run their series even harder through the mud.
Nice name for
Oh, if we all said our names right, no, don't mess
They
with me.
moved him there
I already
just
get names
recently.
mixed up enough as is.
Why?
Is the case. Why?
Apparently,
It's definitely a
they're
long
conducting
opening
field
cutscene,
test of the
which
weapon.
when we get to
Our
this game
best
properly,
chance
you
to
know,
get him
we
back.
will watch it
This
this
mission
kind of
would never
way,
have been
like
possible
properly
if he
taking
was
the
still in
story.
the
We're just
research.
chilling and chatting here in the meantime,
This
and
is our
looking at
last
this and
chance.
being like, yep,
Sokolov
we're gonna
must
play
have
this
known that
eventually.
too when he contacted us.
It's coming up. You want the Fallout series to be good? I mean, some of the titles are good. Like Fallout New Vegas, that game freaking slaps. But if you mean like more recent history, then yeah, maybe not. You know. But yeah, the smidges that I've seen of like cutscenes and trailers of this game though have been pretty epic. So I'm gonna turn this down a smidge. It's starting to get loud. So part of me was kind of interested in playing the retro games from back when. Part of me was also semi-miserable playing them because of how convoluted they were, and you know, y'all got to see my suffering. So R1, what does that do? Oh. Wacky. Anyway. Part of me was a little bit miserable playing them at times. So if you want to know how I hyped myself up to keep going, is I watched trailers and like smidges of later games like this to like hype myself up to be like, this is what I have coming up as long as I get through these retro games first. So I've seen the opening cutscene of this game, and I've seen like the trailers that released for it and stuff. Weird. Weird. So, yeah, I did that to literally hype myself up to get through the retro games. And the retro games are done. Don't have to worry about that ever again. That's cool. You know? Oh, Fallout TV show is what Morris was referring to. You think, oh, yeah, there was a Fallout TV show? Wait, when did that come out? I haven't heard about this either. Fallout TV show. When was this? Fallout television series.
The shock will be less than
What
during
is this?
a parachute
Upcoming
jump,
TV
and the
series,
arms can handle
Wikipedia.
up to 500 pounds.
Huh. Is it an upcoming post-apocalyptic television series? Huh. It was announced in July 2020.
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan
Filming for the
cannons,
series
as well
began
as
on
two
July
40mm
5th, 2022.
machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her
News
own
to me.
against a battalion of tanks.
News to me. Jeez, quick question. Is there any reward for doing all the classes in the school during tutorial, or are they just advanced tutorials? I haven't gone far enough to know myself. I just kind of skedaddled the moment it gave me the option to skedaddle. So I have no idea, honestly. But yeah, Halo literally made Xbox Live viable, and then 343 exists, and it made games for the franchise, and took it in a strange direction from what I've heard. But yeah, let's see here. Also, the Destiny community is like 90% sure that Sony's making a Destiny TV series or movie, which a Destiny series adapting stuff from the lore would literally be the best thing ever. I assume that's a type before. Well, we're gonna land into place. Also, where did I get a ping from? I may as well check now. Now there's like some breathing room. Check. It's a very long opening cutscene. Is the thing. I know from having watched it before, like hyping myself up for, you know, the later games. Be like, yeah, just get through the retro games so I can play stuff like this. Because I love story-based games, you know? That's one of the reasons why I wanted to play Metal Gear for a long time. So, you know, seeing stuff like this, I'm hyped for it, you know? Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. And when I was looking at footage comparisons with the 3DS version, you can't quite make out the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Maybe if you squint really hard, you can make it out. You can make out the bigger text there, is the thing. But yeah, it's a long scene. So yeah, that judo who just got flamethrowered with like the spray and the lighter at the end of this last playthrough, yeah, this is him, all young and hot and stuff. What a guy. Look at him. Look at this man. So yeah, we'll get to this eventually, is the case. But yeah. I haven't actually booted this up. I think I said that I booted it up as like a test to see if it was working. I think I actually did that with Peace Walker now that I think about it. I just saw the opening cutscene of this on like YouTube out of curiosity. So, yeah, this is it's basically done. I'm planning on starting Metal Gear Solid 1 whenever I have the breathing room to do so, basically. There's a lot of ongoing games right now, and some that are going to take me a long time. Like, we recently started Persona 5, and I had no idea how long that was going to be, and everyone keeps telling me it's like one of those games that takes 3,000 years, and it's like, oh, well, just me or the background textures seem on par with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I mean, this was a game that originally released in, I think it was 2004? I think? I don't quite remember. And then this is just like, you know, the upscaled HD version. It's a
What should I
thing
call
that came out in like what
Let's see.
2011-ish. It probably says on my
I'll be Tom.
emulator
Call me
library
Major
here.
Tom.
Let's see
This
here.
will be a sneaking
Nope,
mission.
it doesn't.
You
Oh, it shows me my
must be
time
seen
played.
by the enemy.
Interestingly
You
enough,
must leave no trace of your presence.
doesn't say what year the
Is
HD
that
collection
clear?
was released.
This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's
Yeah,
specialty.
the Fox unit.
In
Whoa.
other words,
So
weapons
Big
and
Boss
equipment
himself
are
was once a
procured on
member of
site.
the Fox
That
unit.
goes for
That's
food as
crazy.
well. You're completely naked.
I'm gonna take a
Your
break
name
and then
in
switch
the
into your simulator is what we're gonna do.
Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes.
Yeah.
I suppose calling
I love
it a snake was
snakes.
your idea of
Yep.
a joke too.
So he was a
No.
snake.
There's a good reason for that.
Metal Gear
I'll tell
3
you
are you
later when
playing?
the time
What,
is
between
right.
the HD version or the 3DS version?
Getting back
I
to
was
the
leaning
subject,
towards this
how
one,
exactly am I
but
supposed
you know,
to
I'm
feed
I'm
myself?
kind of undecided is
You've
the
been
thing.
issued a knife and
Metal Gear Solid
tranquilizer
2, there are 2 of
Use them
each.
to hunt for food.
It would just be Metal Gear
You'll
2.
also
I think it
find
was
some medical
Subsistence for
supplies in your
2,
backpack.
where it's like the later version that was just
Yeah,
nothing but
about the
better. I think.
backpack.
Something like
lost it in
that.
a tree on the
I've
way
been trying to
down.
like do my Metal Gear Solid homework to make sure that I'm playing
I
like the
see.
best version of
Well,
each game that I
better go
can,
back
you
and get
know.
it then.
So I'm kind of trying
You
to
know
do.
where it is?
But yeah,
No
there's
problem.
there's
I
that.
can see it from here.
I don't know. I've
It's
never
stuck
played
on a
Halo before. I
branch.
wouldn't know there. But yeah,
To climb a tree.
yeah, it's a very
stand
long
in front of
cutscene
the
there, but now it's
tree
like
that's covered
tutorials
in
and stuff.
ivy and press
thing.
the action button.
I'm gonna wait for this
I'll
cutscene
be
to end. I'm gonna
monitoring
move
your
around, and then I'm
progress over
closing
the
it down. I'm going onto the
Can't risk
BRB
violating
screen
Soviet airspace
and taking a
without
break.
being
I'm probably
managed.
grabbing some food, and then we'll play Deer
My
Simulator.
frequency is
But yeah, I think the HD versions are the
140.85.
second version.
I'll give you a
for,
call if I need
like,
to talk to you.
Metal Gear
You need
Solid
to talk
2
to
should
me,
be on this
use
HD
the
collection.
send
This HD
function.
collection is a 3,
Okay,
2,
Snake,
and Peace
Go
Walker.
get your backpack.
So I'll probably just play, you know, this here for 2, since I already have it set up here for 2 as a thing. Whee! But yeah, do we play this version or the 3DS version for 3 is the question. Again, I was leaning towards this, but it... What? But it sounds like there are some Snake is dead!
Snake, you alright? Snake!
I don't have no idea what's for dinner. Well, we lost. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3. Too bad I lost the run. Really is a shame. Hope you all enjoyed that playthrough there. You know, I really gave it my best shot, but I just couldn't beat the game, unfortunately. But you know, that was a really great playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 if I've ever seen one. Anyway, hold on. Whoa, wait here. Close down that Metal Gear Solid 2 Metal Gear 2 playthrough thingamabob that we were watching. If I boot up the HD collection, just stand alone, as is, for a hot second here. Let's see. And if this is set to the right thing, like this, and click on here, it's a small, oh, I can make it larger like that, okay. Oh, I get why it doesn't go to the edges now, because it's not truly full screen, it's kind of windowed mode, so there's still the edges of my computer screen. Anyway, so there's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is what we just played, you know, Metal Gear 2 on. I don't know why there's these graphical glitches on this overall menu. It honestly doesn't matter. There's graphical glitches here, because who cares? It's this random menu. And then there's Peace Walker, that takes place after 3. And then, I'll play this version of Metal Gear Solid 2 is the plan. Most likely. Because, you know, it's already on my computer and stuff anyway, so may as well. It's already set up here. Metal Gear Solid 1 isn't set up, but hey, these ones are all set up. So we'll do Metal Gear Solid 1, then Solid 2, then Solid 3, and then Solid 4, and then Rising Revengeance, then Peace Walker, and then the 2 games of 5, and then we'll have the series done. That's the plan. That's my current plan. Again, it could be subject to change, but that's the current plan. That's currently what's going on. But yeah, this will probably be how we play Metal Gear Solid 2. Because why not? It's already, like, set up and stuff. Like, so may as well. You know? Why not? Wait, Bluepoint worked on this version of Metal Gear Solid 3? Bluepoint? What's Bluepoint? They did the Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls remake. Oh, so a game oh, this is my first time booting up Metal Gear Solid 2 on this, so now it's putting modules together and stuff. Compiling PPU modules. Well, maybe I shouldn't have booted it up. Maybe there wasn't much point in doing that. But yeah, so I guess they slapped the HD collection together in that case. I probably shouldn't have booted up the thing. That was a little bit silly of me. I was like, oh, it'll boot up in no time, and it has to load everything for like a first time setup and stuff. Oh, you can see it now. It wasn't showing up on OBS at first, but now it is. So yeah, like I already have 2, 3, and Peace Walker set up like this. So I'll definitely do 2 like this and Peace Walker like this. Again, I'm leaning towards doing this for 3, but, you know, there's a chance we could do the 3DS version. I could always do it like a community poll or something like that. Like, put it to a vote in the community. Which would people rather see? the version with slightly better graphics or the version with like decently better gameplay, you know, like more optimized gameplay. So like which one would people more like to see, you know? So maybe we'll do a poll or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We still have 2 Metal Gear Solid games to get through before we get to that point. So, you know, there's plenty of time. It's currently 9:06 p.m. So, hold on. Let's see here. Schedule. Wow, this has worked out, like, perfectly scheduling-wise. Because we finished Ring Fit Adventure kind of early. But Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, I guess, took longer than expected. And I took, like, a little bit of a break between the games there. How is it already past 9 p.m.? And then... Did we actually spend like 6 hours on Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake? Over 6 hours? Since we, you know, switched over early? Did we really? My goodness, how time flies. Alright, I'm done. I'm glad that it's done with then. Yeah, my goodness gracious. So, Deer Simulator spent about 7. Jeez. What the heck? Well, I'm glad it's done now. My goodness gracious. So I'll do Deer Simulator. My estimate on the layout is that it would take 2 hours. But honestly, I have no idea. I was looking up online how long it takes, and apparently it's about, like, online said about 1 hour, so my original estimate was 1 hour, and then Guzma reached out to me and he's like, no, there's no way you're doing it in 1 hour, it's longer than that, so I changed the estimate to 2 hours. But honestly, now that the schedule's pretty free flow, it'll just take however long it takes, and then we'll play whatever the heck from there. Probably, like, maybe some Pokemon Scarlet, unless I'm feeling tired and I really don't want to look at, you know, wacky stuff there. That whole mess. Also, I haven't been coughing as much. I'm starting to feel better. The 24-hour charity stream is... okay, bringing it up made me think about it, and then I start coughing again. But I feel like I'm starting to feel better, and I'm not as sleepy as I was earlier. Like, during Metal Gear 2 there were some points that I was getting, like, pretty sleepy and yawning a decent bit. I feel like I'm getting a second wind here. Might well be the case. We can probably do it. We can probably get to 6 a.m., right? Probably? Probably. Anyway. This is the version of Metal Gear Solid 2 we're probably gonna play. Whoa, what's this title screen? Oh, that started coming in. Konami Computer Entertainment Japan presents. Whoa. What have we got going on here? Does it just go right into the game intro? Should I really have not booted this up at this point? Was this a big mistake? A Hideo Kojima game. So yeah, I look forward to getting to these later games. We had dinner before dessert. We played the retro games before playing the solid games. Is this just loading up the title screen then? Is that what's going on here? Whoa, so epic. Numbers, math. Whoa. That's the order of these you're doing. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4. Rising Revengeance, Peace Walker, and 5 is the plan. So in release order, except for switching Revengeance and Peace Walker, is my current plan. Just so that, you know, the ones that follow Big Boss with Peace Walker and 5 there, you know, are in a sequence like that, rather than doing like Peace Walker with Big Boss, switching to Rising Revengeance for something vastly different, and then coming back to Big Boss for 5. I think it'd, you know, flow a lot better if we did Rising Revengeance after 4, and then, you know, do all this remaining stuff with Big Boss and finish off the series with 5. That's the best order in my opinion. Okay, nice. Because yeah, I don't actually know the stories intricately. Again, I just know like the very basic, you know, synopsises. No, not synopsises, like premises, I should say, is the case. And with that in mind, that's the order that I came up with in my head. This is a freaking crazy intro. Is this just loading up the title screen? Like, this is crazy. This is the first time I've seen this. Because Metal Gear Solid 5 takes place literally right after Peace Walker ends. Okay, yeah. So, release order, except with those two switched, does sound like the best play. Oh, I'm so looking forward to Rising. I'm really looking forward to that. I already own it on Steam. Same with, you know, Solid 5. So the only ones that I still need to set up on my computer are 1 and 4. And maybe 3, the 3DS version. Maybe. We'll see there. This music's freaking amazing. This is a cool intro. I like it. This is neat. This is getting me hyped to get to this game later. I'm really glad that I got through the retro games now, and now this is what we have ahead. Because as I've been repeating throughout this, I've heard so many good things about Metal Gear. I've always wanted to try it out. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting hyped. Where does Metal Gear Survive take place? Who knows? Who knows where the heck? Apparently just the world of a Solid 5 from what I hear. Apparently, I think Solid 5 takes place in Afghanistan, and then in Survive they just called it like a generic wasteland or something like that for no zombie thing that Konami did. So there's that. No words, not canon. Yeah, or I could say that. Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. That was a cool intro. I like that. That makes me kind of hyped. Finish off my glass of juice here. All that before the title screen. That was cool. I like that. Alright, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for getting further into the series now. But I gotta go get like some food or something like that. And yeah, there is indeed Raiden. The same dude from Rising. Like, again, I don't know the intricacies of Metal Gear, but I do know that Raiden is like a character throughout the series that goes on to have like a standalone game with Rising. Stuff like that. Heck yeah, Bon Appetit. This is one you own, but you own it on PS2. In all of its not HD glory. Gotcha there. I'm gonna close the thingamabob down now. Yeah, I'm gonna go scrounge something together to eat because I had a bowl of cereal for breakfast, and then I had like a cheese bun for lunch just before Metal Gear 2 is a thing. And it's currently 9 p.m. I've had, you know, one bowl of cereal and one cheese bun, so I'm gonna go scrounge up some food. I'm gonna put on some tunes, and then when I'm back, we're gonna play some Deer Simulator, which again, I know nothing about, apart from Guzma likes it and he gifted it to me, so I'm going in blind and we're gonna see what the heck is going on with that. Hope you all enjoyed Metal Gear 2 and the freaking snippets of what we have coming up in the Metal Gear series. And yeah, I'll be back in a little bit here, methinks.